that's it. All right, and we're gonna go so I can find the button. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it happens to be where you are, ladies, gentlemen, and others. Welcome once again to Nerd Week Live. Sorry about that look away. I had to turn off the sound. I knew it was going to come up on my. I knew it.
Do you need me to explain technology to you, Rodney?
Where's that technology work there, you young whippersnapper? You don't have gray in your beard. You got green, as it turns out. Yeah, welcome to Nerd Week Live here on YouTube, brought to you by us, the folks, and I can say us this week because it's not me solo, the folks at Nerd Caliber. And I'm Rodney Brown. I'm the editor-in-chief of Nerd Caliber. You guys know all that already, but I'll say it anyway. First-person shooter as a cosplay photographer on Facebook, Burley_adopter on Twitter, and some other things and places and social media type stuff. Joining me tonight, green beard enabled and all, is sir.
Hi, folks. This is Greg, aka Wonderland Photography, associate editor at Nerd Caliber. You may know me as Wonderland Photography or Wonderland Cosplay, depending on when you catch me. I jump on with Rodney whenever I can. Yes, in case anybody feels the need to ask, Rodney and I are in fact clones. I know it's come up on a few occasions, so I'll just get that out of the way early.
Clearly, he's the younger one. Bone Crusher, welcome to the show. Invisible Master, welcome to the show. Lolbit, FNAF, because it's Five Nights at Freddy's, but that takes too long to say. Welcome to the show. Joshua, welcome to the show.
Hey, all?
Yeah.
There you go. Green just in time for Christmas.
Yeah, there you go. You're working your way up to complete Grinchhood?
I've been a humbug for a long time, so that does seem like the next logical step.
There you go. Yeah, no, I was gonna say something about menorahs or something, but it's anyway. Catty Claus, welcome to the show. So one of the things I wanted to let you folks know is that if you have heard about our event, the Cosplay and Photography Expo, which is coming up this July 2020, Mansfield, Massachusetts, then you know that tickets have been on sale for a while, and we've sold some tickets, and that's great. Our first price jump, since they went on sale, they've been exactly the same price that they have been for the last 3 years. Our first price jump will happen on December 1st. So you've got until November 30th to get tickets to the show, if you're coming, if you're interested, at the price they've been for the last 3 events. So cape.nerdcaliber.com to check it out, to find the link to where to buy tickets and so on. Now, they're only going up by $5 for the entire weekend. So, you know, it's going from $35 to $40 for the whole weekend. It's not big,
but you know, still, beat the Christmas rush.
Exactly. Beat the Christmas rush. Don't let the tryptophan-induced comas after Thanksgiving make you forget. That out of the way, Catty Claus, you broke? Oh, you are broke. There we go. I got it. Aren't we all? Yes. But speaking of breaking, we're going to break some news. Actually, we're not going to break some news. This broke. All this news that we're going over broke a while ago. This is a roundup of news that happened in the past week. And our first one is that popped up on your screen right there is the Crunchyroll mascot, Crunchyroll Hime, or sometimes they call it Crunchy-chan, which is a little bizarre. The news is that the Crunchyroll Expo, their own event, not to be confused with the Cosplay and Photography Expo, our event, is being, I don't know, swallowed up isn't the right term. The management of said event is being taken over by the enormous and wonderful folks, the enormous company and the wonderful folks at ReedPOP. They're big, folks. No.
Yes, that's for us grammar nerds. That is the importance of a comma.
Yes, grammar nerds unite. Yeah, Lolbit. That whoever designed this, that's a wicked cute mascot. They did a great job. Lavina, welcome to the show. So ReedPOP is taking it over as of their next event, which is in 2020. the Crunchyroll Expo 2020, which will be September 4th and 6th, Labor Day weekend. So, haha, Dragon Con weekend. Not really sure why that was the decision to make, but maybe that's all they had.
The Expo Center was available?
Exactly. The San Jose Convention Center was available that weekend.
I feel like if you're that into an anime con, you're going to Crunchyroll Expo and not Dragon Con in the first place.
Probably.
Doesn't strike me that that's going to be a real. It's not gonna pull a tremendous number of people away from Dragon Con.
And they are on opposite sides of the country. You've got the Crunchyroll Expos in San Jose, California, Dragon Cons in Atlanta, Georgia, so on. We like ReedExpo, folks. Nerd Caliber and ReedExpo have worked together at all their big cons. Most of the big cons, New York Comic Con, PAX East, for years. And I think this is a smart move on Crunchyroll's part. You can't get too many organizations that run a con better than ReedPOP.
Very true.
This little master, if only I could do both. Yeah, you and me both, man. If I could clone myself, or if I had that, supersonic jet where I could literally just bounce from one to the other in the middle of the day, that would be awesome.
But Shield won't loan you one for the weekend.
I'm sure it's probably still up in the air as to how much Disney wants to give out of those assets.
For you, that much.
Exactly, that much. Goose and egg. Dragon Con 77 people, Crunchyroll 1,000 people. Dragon Con reports about 85,000 this last year.
Thereabouts.
Attendance, which is. This is my opinion, folks. I am not the fire marshal of Atlanta, so I do not have actual numbers. Way, way underreported. Having been to Dragon Con a few years, it's ginormous and getting bigger.
True enough. But we were talking about ReedPOP and Crunchyroll.
Exactly. And Crunchyroll is taking off. It's in its first year, which is 3 years ago, I think. It already, because Crunchyroll has such a fan base, it already became a big thing and is just really shooting through the roof, which is probably why they sought out somebody to take over management. So,
makes sense.
Makes sense. If you're going, expect a really well-run con because ReedPOP is going to be doing it, and ReedPOP, they know their stuff.
Indeed.
So. Kind of, sort of sticking with the animation. Well, definitely sticking with the animation theme. Five Nights at Jigsaw's I'm Back Again, Baby. Hey, Jigsaw, welcome back. What appeared on your screen right there is, of course, a shot from Violet Evergarden. The amazing anime. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's astounding. The news is that Kyoto Animation, which crafted Violet Evergarden, has decided that this year they will not hold their annual Kyoto Animation Awards at all. You can understand why they would have been delayed if you remember that Kyoto Animation was a victim of a deadly arson attack back in the summer, which killed more than 30 studio employees. And they had made an announcement back in August that the awards were definitely going to be delayed. They have now made the announcement that they're completely off this year, and the head of Kyoto Animation Studio said literally it's because they do not have the staff people to be able to properly judge the entries, which is one of the saddest things I think I've ever heard.
That's really sad.
Just a real quick. What Kyoto Animation Awards is, it's actually awards for submissions to their light novel publishing division, which almost always, if you're a winner, guarantees that you will get an anime adaptation of your light novel. And the Violet Evergarden, which posted up there, was the only one that's actually won an actual Best of the Year award. They've never given out that. It's always been honorable mentions because nothing has ever, in their mind, risen to the level of a Best of the Year except Violet Evergarden's light novel.
Did not know that.
Yeah, so they're really sticklers about this stuff. And but if you like Kyoto animation, um, so Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions, Beyond the Boundary, Violet Evergarden, Surene, all of those were winners. All of those were published by their light novel division, and all of those were turned into anime. Um, and fantastic, beautiful, wonderful anime. Um, Invisible Master would love to have their own anime. Um, there you go.
Get your submission in.
Exactly. You mean about you, or you'd like to make your own? Either way, it would be interesting. So after this story came up on my news feed, I think it was just 2 days ago, back on Monday or yesterday, they announced that Kyoto Animation has decided that it will not rebuild the burned out studio at all. That they're tearing the whole thing down. They have not decided what they're going to do with the property, whether they're going to sell it, whether they're going to give it to the city to be a memorial, but they just feel they can't go through with trying to rebuild on that spot. And I can't blame them. That was a horrible tragedy.
I don't think I'd want to go back to work there.
Nope. Anyway, sad news if you're a fan of that. Sad news for what will be the pipeline of stuff coming out of Kyoto Animation for a year or so. In addition to the obvious slowdown of essentially losing an enormous chunk of your staff. But they'll come back. And I really am looking forward to it. They are probably my favorite animation studio in all of Japan. Their work is consistently wonderful. Myriad Colors Phantom World aside. Oh God, that was awful.
Now you're taking a deep dive.
A deep dive, and it was one of the winners. That light novel series was one of their winners, one of their honorable mention winners, and it was turned into an anime. And yeah, no. I guess we're still on the anime train for this next story.
I was gonna say, what else we got? What else we got in Japanese anime related news tonight?
That might be this anime that just popped up on your screen, or at least that's a artistic rendition of what the anime might be about or like. Yes, thank you, folks. It is all very sad for what happened to Kyoto Animation. But this anime is a Netflix anime, and it is the title Oni? The title is Oni.
Title is Oni. Yep.
So the Oscar-nominated animation studio Tonko House is going to be producing this or making this animation series for Netflix, based on Japanese folklore about Oni, which are demons. It's created by Daisuke Tsutsumi, a former art director for Pixar. So I bet this is going to look pretty good.
Probably. Every time I see this image come up, I'm like, wow, Maui's really let himself go.
I didn't want to say that, but thank you for saying that.
That's some quality laser tattoo removal too.
But hey, he can fly now, so big plus. Yeah, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yep.
I don't think it says when this is going to happen, so because they just announced it, so it doesn't have anything remotely like a date. So I'm guessing probably not 2020. I would guess it's the year after. It's going to be 2021. Jigsaw, yeah, it does kind of look like a Pixar short. Visible Master thinks it looks like Disney. Let's bring that back up here. I'm seeing a little Pixar. I'm seeing a little Minions. What's that studio?
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks. So I'm seeing a little DreamWorks here. Honestly, I don't see a ton of Disney out of this. I think Disney is Pixar and Pixar is Disney, but still.
I mean, that does look much more Hawaiian, Polynesian. It looks like he's wearing almost like a sarong. So, who knows?
Yeah, it does kind of look sarong-like. But then again, that could be just this particular style of demon. The face, the beady eyes, and everything look very much like like Pokemon characters. I mean, they look very much like Japanese style animation.
Lolbit said it looks like Pixar X anime.
Yeah,
I can kind of see that a little bit.
yeah.
So the thing I find interesting about this story, and I don't know what it means specifically, is they're touting it as featuring a hybrid of stop motion and computer generated animation. So, I mean, I presume when you say stop motion, you're actually talking about Leica style stop motion and not, traditional animation where you're doing cell frame by frame, which is sort of stop motion.
Yep.
So I don't know. Is that some of the stories will be stop motion, some of them will be computer generated? There'll be a mix of both in the same story.
That's a good question.
Just,
My assumption was that it would be mixed, that they would use computer animation for, challenging group shots and other things that might not work well for the stop motion, and then use stop motion like, we say Leica, that's Kubo and the Two Strings, come on.
Coraline.
Yep.
Box Trolls. Awesomeness.
Yeah, generally awesomeness. But you're right. This could be much more like Love, Death, and Robots, where they're all separate stories about Oni, about demons, and they each have their own animation style.
That's a wild thought. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. Love, Death, and Oni.
Love, Death, and Oni. Probably be a little bit less batshit insane than Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh God, Jigsaw. Pixar X JoJo. No. Yes, but no. That's I don't know whether that's a yes or a no, so I'm gonna say yes and no. Oh my God, that would be hilarious. All right, I gotta back to the show.
There we go.
Stop distracting me like that, Jigsaw. Literally, my head just went, wow. Okay, no. Anyway, so we don't know when. We don't know exactly how the animation is going to be structured, but the idea is cool. And Tsutsumi, so Ice Age, Robots, Horton Hears a Who, Toy Story 3, Monsters University, and the Oscar-nominated short was The Dam Keeper that Tonka House did.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. I mean, as somebody who absolutely loves Japanese folklore and actually has quite a few Oni tattoos of one sort or another, I love the idea. There is a lot of interesting source material that you can go with, even if it's kind of Disney, even if it's about a small person. What are they saying? It's kind of, yeah, I'm guessing from that photo too, it looks like she's a fairly young girl. There's some, I mean, there's a lot of different ones and a lot of really interesting, beautiful stuff they can pull on.
Yep.
Could be funky.
Eli Chavez, what's up, Peps? I'm assuming that's Peeps. Welcome to the show. What's up is we are 3 topics in. And we were just talking about the upcoming, eventually, series on Netflix called Oni, which is going to be an animation series done by an Oscar-winning animator and studio about Japanese demons. And I'll put the image back up there. Apparently cute Japanese demons. I don't think we're going to see, like, fire demons or people biting people's heads off or anything like that. There's not Demon Slayer.
Pity.
The hair does kind of look like a planet, Jigsaw. I'll give you that. I'm assuming you mean the Oni and not us bald guys, because that also kind of looks like a planet, too. Anyway, moving on to our next topic. The next topic is, this is kind of weird. That's an image of Stargirl in one of the few promotional images that has been put out by CW now. Well, actually, that was put out by DC Universe for the planned Stargirl live-action series. Stargirl is a DC character, part of the Justice Society of America, and the weird thing is I was literally just questioning why, with some DCU news we talked about a couple of weeks ago, why we haven't heard anything in months about Stargirl. Well, guess what? We heard. And the news is they will be going forward with the Stargirl series, and I don't know how this is going to play out. The premiere episode will premiere on DC Universe, and then the rest of the series will be on the CW.
Oh, is that like the first taste is free?
Oh, no, hold on. I may have read this wrong. It will apparently be on the DC Universe, but then the next day it will go on to. No, I got that backwards. It'll be on CW, then the next day it will go on to the streaming service. So I guess if you're like me and you don't have an antenna and or a cable subscription, and getting CW over the air is a pain in the butt because the local station doesn't beam your way, you can see it the next day on DC Universe. So I guess it's going to stay on DC Universe, sort of, but it will actually be a CW show. And nothing else has changed. Apparently, it's still this Breck Bessinger is the lead character, the actress here that you're seeing there. I'm guessing it's still Joel McHale is associated with this, and apparently he's still involved, which would be great. And honestly, it would be better if he was premiering on DC Universe so he could be as foul-mouthed as Joel McHale can be. But so Jigsaw, I'm more of a Marvel guy myself. Technically, I am, although I'm gonna say 60-40. When I was a kid, I was almost even split. I mean, I would buy both, love both. Marvel, in my mind, matured faster, and their stories got more mature and more interesting faster. DC held on to that kind of 60s campy Batman thing for way too long.
Oh, come on. You don't like the Batusi?
In the appropriate place, yes. Yeah, anyway, so Stargirl, it will be second quarter 2020. So sometime in the spring, we will get to see Stargirl finally, which means they must be pretty far along into filming, I would guess, what with special effects still need to be added and so on. And that's that, folks. That's your Stargirl. If you're looking forward to Stargirl, like I am and was, it is going to happen, and it's going to happen in the second quarter of 2020. Lol bit. Ow, I hit my arm. Don't do that. Speaking as an expert. And we're back to animation, folks. And we're back to Netflix. And what the news is Castlevania news. Rumory news? Maybe news? Greg, you dug this one up?
Sounds rumory. Yeah, somebody popped this up somewhere. I don't remember what the original season 3 date was, but it sounds like Netflix is getting ready to drop Castlevania season 3 on December 1st, which is that's Friday?
That's Sunday.
So right around the corner, which is pretty cool. I'm going to have to download that because I'm going to be on a very long flight. And hopefully I will be able to download some of that and catch up with it on the plane. I'm looking forward to it. This will be pretty cool.
So apparently I'm looking at this, it was tweeted by Netflix Nordic, which I assume is their Scandinavian unit, which means maybe it won't be an international premiere that day, that maybe it will be just, because Netflix does have a tendency to regionally drop anime at different times, and you have to wait. I will admit that I watched all of Violet Evergarden while it was playing in Japan and the UK, and didn't wait for the entire season to run out before it appeared here in the US, because I went to one of those other websites, which we don't talk about, because I just wasn't going to wait.
So, yeah, so now this does kind of throw this back into question. The couple of sites that I looked at were definitely kind of rumory. This is from CNET, which is, CBS Interactive. I think they probably try pretty hard to source this stuff. Netflix Nordic sent a tweet December 1st. However, Netflix said on Tuesday they didn't have a release date for season 3. The tweet was a mistake. It was deleted. So if it debuts on Sunday, you heard it here, folks. If it doesn't, we never had this conversation.
If only that were true, but as Donald Trump and other people are realizing, the internet is forever. Jigsaw. Until they make a Klaus 2, then I'm going to go back to Netflix. Until then, I'm staying on Disney Plus. Klaus, as an aside, I thought it was great. It was a really good. Yeah, go watch it, Greg, if you haven't. It's right. It's so
Netflix
up your alley.
keeps wanting me to watch that.
It is so up your alley. I mean, wow.
Okay.
Jason Schwartzman as the voice of Klaus, the main character.
Perfect.
And oh, I can't think of his real name. J. Jonah Jameson, as is the other guy.
The actor?
Yeah, the actor who plays.
Crap, I can't think of his name either.
Yeah, same here.
Damn it. He was J. Jonah Jameson.
He was, and he doesn't.
Damn it. All right, IMDb. What do you got for me?
Okay, he's gonna look it up. Eli, I'm a fan. I've watched a lot of your videos. Thank you, Eli. Master's got to go. Bye. See you, Master. Thanks for stopping in and chatting. Thanks for the recommendation of Klaus. It was awesome. From the other week. Yeah, Spider-Man's a menace, says Jigsaw. J.K. Simmons. Thank you, 41 brother.
J.K. Simmons.
Thank you, 41 brother. Us
it was
folks.
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling, yeah. Not J.K. Rowling. J.K. Simmons, 41 brother, comes in with the clutch, while us Alzheimer's patients go, what was that again?
Me not type fast.
Me not type fast. Anyway, so let's hope. I mean, fingers crossed. I can't wait for another season. I did finally watch all the way through season 2. And yes, it was as awesome as everybody said. That Viking vampire, much as I love the actor, it was tough to get past him. But anyway, so yeah, looking forward to season 3.
So that's a thing.
That's a thing. The next thing, speaking of Vikings, vampires, that transition was not intentional, folks. But this is an image from season 3 of Vikings. I think that might be when they're sailing up the river to Paris. But the news is about the show Vikings is that we are getting a spin-off, sequel, whatever you want to call it. I guess they're calling it a sequel here. It's called Vikings Valhalla. It's going to be on Netflix instead of History Channel, of all things, which is where it was before. Netflix has ordered, according to this, so let's call this one a rumor, though it comes from this reporter at Deadline, and they're very rarely wrong. I hear Netflix has ordered 24 episodes of the new series from Vikings creator Michael Hurst and Studio MGM Television, which continues the storytelling of the original. This will be written and executive produced by Jeb Stewart, who did Die Hard and The Fugitive. Wow. Yeah.
Are the Scandinavians finally going to storm Nakatomi Tower?
That would be wonderful. So apparently, this is going to be a 100-year time jump so that they can get into the time of Leif Erikson, Harald Hardrada, and then ultimately, of course, that brings up to William the Conqueror, who was technically from Vikings, so kind of a Viking adjacent.
Yeah, I read this before, and I'm like, I used to know my British history semi-well, but this is the first I remember hearing that. And that is supposedly a fact, but it was like great-great-great-great-grandfather. But that said,
that far back, but yeah, something like that.
The thing that is interesting, and maybe it's only interesting for history nerds like me, is the article that I read about that said Normandy, which is the part of northern France where William and all the other Normans who conquered England came from, was named for Norsemen. So the
Yes.
Norm part of Norman came
Yep.
from that. So it lends some credence.
Yes. Yeah. No.
Anyway, as you were saying.
So yeah, history nerds like me, that is in fact a thing. William the Conqueror is descended from Normans, um, to the extent that it was, I think, in his grandfather's time that they finally stopped speaking a Scandinavian uh, language and started speaking the Frankish that was, the early French of the time. Um, 41 brother coming through the clutch. Seen it, covered it. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Well done. Yeah, so Vikings Valhalla, 100 years after the end of this last season, which is coming up of Vikings on History Channel. Since this is a just now being reported kind of story from Deadline with no verification from Netflix or the producers, no dates. We've got nothing in here, and the reporter isn't speculating on when. Since we've still got season 6 of Vikings to go through, I'm guessing it won't be for another couple of years. But yeah, so there you go. Yay, and I kind of like, if they time this right, Vinland Saga, the wonderful animation, the wonderful anime, will be wrapping up right about the time that this comes about. And if you're not watching Vinland Saga, get on that. That's Amazon. Vinland Saga is fantastic, wonderful writing. Anyway, moving on, and I gotta say, I was really, really excited about this. Lolbit, bye-bye. Have a good night.
Have fun storming the castle.
Assuming that you, or unless that's you saying goodbye to Invisible Master from quite a while ago. But either way. So I gotta say, I was kind of disappointed about this news, even though I was kind of excited about it as well. The big news is there's a Half-Life sequel coming, finally. Finally, a new Half-Life game. Yay! I'm so excited. It's called Half-Life Alyx, and it's going to be on the Valve virtual reality platform only. I don't have a VR. Yeah, I mean, Half-Life was one of my first-person shooter, hence my name, games that I played and played the hell out of. Died way too many times. Half-Life 2 was outstanding. And everybody's been speculating about Half-Life 3. I mean, it's a troll now. You say, you throw up some sort of doctored image and you go, Half-Life 3, and people go, oh my god, when? Haha. Never. But there's a Half-Life sequel, but Valve is doubling down heavy on their Valve VR platform, and so this is going to be a VR only. And that means that the vast majority of gamers will not get a chance to play this. Jigsaw, finally, after like 5 years. Has it been 5 years? It's been longer than that, hasn't it? Since Half-Life 2. Maybe it is just 5 years. I think it's been longer than that. But anyway, it's been a long damn time. And it looks fantastic for a virtual reality game. And I'm not sure how well this is going to translate to the virtual reality actual experience, because these could be, even though you can see clips of the motion and so on, these could be literally just all done in a giant server farm and fake. Or not fake, but not look anything like the real game. If it does look like this, it's outstanding. But yeah, I'm not going to go buy a Valve virtual reality setup and a whole new computer to be able to support it, because frankly, as well as this computer does in streaming, this sucker, this sucker's at least 5 years old as far as the most of the technology. So,
yep.
It ain't gonna happen. So darn it. Yay for them and darn it for me. But I
God
guess
damn
that's, God damn it. I guess that's pretty much it. Jigsaw, are you the only one left? You're the only one chatting so far. There could still be other people in there. There are lurkers. We have lurkers who will jump in at the very end and then just to say goodbye, and that's fine. That's absolutely cool. Our last topic for the evening. It's a short night, short topic list. There weren't a whole lot of really amazing announcements that dropped, or bits of news that dropped this past week. So maybe it's everybody's Jigsaw feels like winning a bit. All right, there you go. Jigsaw wins the most determined chatter of the night, and your prize is a hearty thank you. Anyway, that right there, folks, if you aren't familiar with him from his many, many, many wonderful roles in fantastic, brilliant, award-winning cinema all the way to sheer, pure garbage Michael Bay entertainment, is John Turturro. And the news is that John Turturro has been cast to play Carmine Falcone in the upcoming The Batman movie. And this cast is just getting better and better and better. I am so excited to see this. I can't wait. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that Turturro hasn't been cast as a mafia crime boss before. It seems kind of obvious to me, but
Isn't I mean, yeah, he's definitely got he does menacing, but I always thought of Falcone as more of like a Tony Soprano type, little beefier, a little more sort of physically intimidating, and John Turturro is not physically intimidating.
So he's been sort of cast that way. He was much more of a businessman in Gotham. I mean, he could have been Lee Iacocca. God, okay, nobody remembers who that is. He could have been Tim Cook from Apple. Well, okay, Greg remembers who that is. Jigsaw, thank you for your effort in attempting to bring the lurkers out, but yeah, we'll leave them be. If they want to just lurk and watch, that's cool. In Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins, he was Tom. Drawing another blank here, folks. 41 Brother, bring it in. Carmine Falcone in Batman Begins. British actor Tom something or other. Anyway,
I love Tom something or other.
Tom something or other is fantastic. 41 Brother. My question: who's going to play the Waynes in the obligatory dead parent origin scene?
Touche.
That's a good question. I wonder if they're going to have it. They might, and it might be just like within what was it, Batman v Superman, where it's just sort of it's a quick scene, and it doesn't. You don't have to go through the whole thing because they just make an assumption that you know why Batman is doing this. From what I understand, it is going to be set sort of early in Batman's career. Just the casting of Robert Pattinson, a very much younger than Ben Affleck actor.
I'm still not sold on that.
You know what? If I look at the stuff he's done as far as like real serious drama, I have no problem with it. I haven't seen The Lighthouse, but man, do I want to see The Lighthouse. Wilkinson, 41 Brother. Thank you, Tom Wilkinson.
There we go. There it is. Boy, he's just dropping the IMDb knowledge on us tonight.
Exactly. I'm going to say that's all in 41 Brothers' head. Now, that you're that much of a nerd, or you're that young that you can remember this stuff. Yeah, I'm sold on Pattinson. I'm really sold on the cast so far. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. I'm really trying to blank here. Riddler, they just cast, and it was outstanding. All right, Greg, type faster.
There we go. Let's pull it up and see who else cast. Andy Serkis as Alfred.
Yes.
That's an interesting concept. Then Paul Dano. I don't remember whether you said that already.
Yep, I didn't.
Colin Farrell.
Paul Dano is one of those goes under the radar actors that can be absolutely as chilling as anybody you've ever seen. Just he's amazing. It's one of my favorite character actors.
That's pretty much everything now. Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon.
Yep. All of this cast. I'm so in for this. Even if Robert Pattinson is the biggest risk in my mind.
True.
I'm still, 41 Brothers bringing it in. Jeffrey Wright as Gordon. Personally would have cast him as Lucius, though. I'm not sure whether they're going to be doing Lucius Fox in this one or not. Jigsaw. I'd have Danny DeVito for Alfred. Jigsaw with another yuck.
That'd be a weird bit of full circle come around.
Oh, that would be pretty. Actually, that would be pretty funny, wouldn't it? He's really, really not British, and Alfred doesn't necessarily have to be British. Although even in the comics, they've pretty much established him as a former SAS badass. So, no. I'm just wondering whether Alfred's arm is going to just open up into a sonic cannon, and he's going to be like Alfred Ulysses Claw. But all right, deep cut for anybody who saw Black Panther. Come on. All right. Anyway, Greg's just nope. I'm done. And that is our last topic, folks. So thank you all for joining us. We will see you all next week. Or we'll see as many of you as you show up next week. Everybody, if you're celebrating Thanksgiving, have a wonderful, safe, and drama-free Thanksgiving.
Indeed.
Eat lots of good stuff.
Damn right. I'm going to a restaurant this year for the first time since I was 10.
Oh, wow. I haven't done that since we took Mom out to the Jackson Tavern, Jackson, New Hampshire.
There you go.
Restaurant.
Different.
That was years ago. Anyway, nobody needs to know that stuff. So, reminder, Cosplay and Photography Expo. Get your tickets before Sunday, or pay extra $5 for the whole weekend. And for me, Rodney Brown, Editor-in-Chief of Nerd Caliber, and for
Craig Snyder, Wonderlama Photography, Wonderlama Cosplay. See you on the interwebs.
See you later, folks. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.